A really hard truth that I learned when I was trying to get sober was that not everybody wanted to see me get better. And if you're sober curious or sober ready and you're moving towards that transition to your sober lifestyle, I want you to be prepared that not everybody's going to rally for you. Not everybody's going to want to see you get better. And we're going to talk about why that is today. So stay tuned with me for this episode of the Conscious Coffee Break. Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Sack here, and I love helping encourage clarity and courage and confidence in moving into a sober lifestyle, but taking the fear out of doing so. And that means meeting everything head on and getting really clear about what we want to do, but also being prepared for what can come along with that. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today because I was very disillusioned. I was very surprised when I was getting sober and not everybody was rallying for me. And you may have experienced this too. A lot of people will have their own stuff come up when you are trying to get better. Just like you're afraid of different things, you're afraid of what might change in your life, how you will have to change your habits, your patterns, your behaviors, who you hang out with, the things you spend your money on, just how you cope with any instability in your life emotionally, from day to day. Just how will that even look like? There's so many things that come up for us personally when we're making the choice to move into a sober lifestyle. We have a lot of fear. The people you are telling that you want to get sober are also going to have fears, depending on who they are. And I'm talking about the people right now who keep the company of you and participate in the same substances that you do, whether it's drinking or using, whatever, the same habits and patterns that you guys have that bonded you or that you do together, you spend your time doing they are going to most likely have their own stuff come up and may not be the most supportive people in your camp, your cheerleaders. And that's because they're afraid as well. And I'm not defending them, but let's talk a little bit about why they're behaving that way because it's not malicious. It feels malicious. I remember feeling like, God, okay, you want me to be sick? You want me to struggle? You want to see me suffer? Thanks, dick. you know, but the truth is, they're just scared too. They're scared that your relationship will change. They're scared that they might lose you. They're scared that life as they know it's going to change if you guys hang out a lot or your normal way is to be doing these things together all the time. They're just afraid of what's going to change for them. They didn't choose this change. It wasn't something they invited in. So when they hear of it, they're like instantly resistant or instantly judgy or instantly like, why? What's going on? And they're really afraid of what's going to change and are they going to lose their best friend or their partner. So you can't be totally mad about it, but you might have a little empathy and just say, okay, I know this is scary. It's scary for me. So of course it's going to be scary for them. So some good communication between you guys is a good way to work through that. It doesn't always solve anything because at the end of the day, you are going to have different interests in ways that you spend your time, your money, different ways that you go about life. But it's good to communicate always. Transparency is always good. It also rubs them the wrong way because it shines a light on their own behaviors and patterns and the habits and the things that they're doing. And if they're not really in the camp right now of trying to better themselves or wanting to face anything that they're doing, perhaps they're not really feeling like they're an addict and they may not be, but they just want to partake in whatever it is. This might make them self reflect in a way that makes them very uncomfortable. It makes them be like, does that mean you think I have a problem? You think you have a problem. We're doing the same thing. So does that mean you think I have a problem? Do I have a problem? Like they start running all of this in their head and they might get very defensive about that. And it's just something that's very natural. Now, their resistance to you changing and growing and moving into this sober lifestyle and being better and getting healthier and making this really, really strong choice can manifest their resistance can manifest in many ways. They might gaslight you. They might say that something's wrong with you. Like, why do you think you need to change? Like, what is wrong? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're crazy. Like everybody does this. What are you talking about? Oh, so everybody's wrong now? Yeah. Like they'll start kind of turning it around and make you think like that you're crazy. Like, oh, oh, do maybe I don't have a maybe it's okay. Why do I need to quit? No, you know at the base of it, if your heart is telling you you need to be over this. You need to stop the merry-go-round of, in and out of sobriety or the negotiating that's going on in your head, the oh my God, the myriad of things that happens when you're thinking about getting sober, when you've tried to get sober many times, you know. So don't let them talk you out of it. And they might tell you that you need to lighten up. Like it's not a big deal. They might feel that you're judging them. That's a big one. That one got thrown in my face a lot. Like, oh, so now you're too good. Now you're judging us. Like you think you're better than us now? Like that was a huge one that I had to deal with. And it was like, whoa, whoa. I never said I'm better than anyone. I just can't participate in that anymore because it's literally killing me. Like this is not okay for me anymore. I've set a new standard. I'm moving through life in a new way. It has nothing to do with you, but people are going to take that as judgment, as you comparing yourself to them, and they're going to get very defensive if they're one of those people. Some people might not be that way, but in general, I feel like this is something that is met with a lot of resistance from the people who are maybe addicts themselves or just using and don't want to see the relationship change in any way. It's going to bring up a lot of stuff for them. They'll probably tell you don't have a problem to begin with because if you have a problem and they're doing the same thing, then they're going to think about themselves and go like, do I have a problem? And a lot of people don't want to address that. It's easier to keep doing what you're doing, to bury your head in the sand, to make jokes about it. How many people you'll start noticing this if you move into a sober lifestyle or you're just sober curious and you're starting to become more aware. You're going to notice how people sort of glorify their actions or make a lot of jokes about it, try and lighten up what they're doing. Like it's really masochistic to be in that place, but they're going to make fun of it because, that's how people relate and they just kind of glaze over the truth of the matter, the hard truth of the matter of what's going on. So, what's the solution? Well, first of all, I just wanted to tell you this because I was disillusioned. I told a lot of people what I was doing and I didn't realize that not everybody was gonna be happy for me. That this wasn't gonna be some, like, high five moment, that I wasn't gonna have cheerleaders rallying behind me. I actually thought that. It didn't turn out that way at all. So I want to just let you know that this is something that's very real that can happen as you move into this lifestyle. Just be prepared for it. Um, just don't be disillusioned and surprised if people are like, "What? Why? What's going on?" Like if they question you and they try and talk you out of it. It's nothing to do with you. That's the second point I want to bring up. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with themselves, their own fear of judgment, their own fear of questioning themselves and their own behavior, how your relationship might change if they're going to lose you, if you're judging them, they're just going to it's bringing up all of their shit. You're just the mirror for that. Okay, so you can't take it personally. You're not responsible for other people's feelings, their thoughts, their behaviors, their opinions. Not your business, not your circus, not your monkeys, whatever. Let them have that. Let them feel however they're going to feel. If this brings up shit for them, maybe you just needed to be the catalyst to bring that up for them. It's just is what it is. What I would suggest is to find some people who are in your camp, who would support that, who have maybe moved through into a sober lifestyle themselves. A lot of online communities exist where you can find people like that if you don't have any in your inner circle. If you're maybe afraid to reach out and tell anybody that you actually know, there's a lot of other options for being in a truly supportive environment that will help you through that. So don't feel alone. Don't feel like there's no way you can have cheerleaders in that camp. There is so many resources out there. So I would say be careful in who you tell. And, if you need to tell everybody because you're changing what you're doing, it's obvious it's going to come up. Just be prepared. They may not be your number one cheerleader. They might bash it. They might say all sorts of things that make you question. Don't let it. Stand your ground. Stay strong. Stay clear. Know your why. I'm always a big advocate of that. Know your why, because these are the moments where you're going to need to bring that up. and know why you're choosing this. It's not to please anybody else. It is a choice that you need to make for yourself, right? Okay. All right. So, with that being said, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this one. I'll see you next time.